A strange kind of card fell from the sky, taking the world by storm. While everyone else thought nothing of it, I treated them like treasure, picking up every single one. All because I knew that soon, the rain of blood orbs would come. That's when countless blood fiends that feed on humans will burst out of them. At the same time, all the food, water, and supplies in the world will become completely useless. If you want to survive in this apocalypse, you can only rely on the supplies and special skills you get from these cards. But as someone who has been reborn, I knew the first batch of cards would fall at 12 o'clock tonight. I immediately rushed out of my house to get everything ready. And now, as the clock struck 12, a humming sound, like it was coming from beyond our planet, echoed out. Right after, a torrential downpour began. But this was different from any rain before. Before, the rain was just water. But now, it was raining cards, each the size of a playing card. The residents near the pedestrian street all came out of their homes, staring at the card rain in complete confusion. But me? I was frantically gathering every card I could. I wasn't picky at all. No matter the color, I stuffed every single card into my bag. These are all crucial strategic resources. They're the key to maximizing my chances of survival in the apocalypse. Just then, amidst the rain of cards falling from the sky, I saw a card shimmering with a rainbow-colored light, floating just ahead of me. A rainbow legendary card. I gulped and lunged for that legendary card. With a flying leap, I clutched the rainbow card tightly in my hand. Right after that, the card rain, which had lasted for an hour, finally stopped. And I had successfully filled 13 bags with cards. Looking at the overstuffed hiking bags in the back of my van, it'd be a lie to say I wasn't thrilled. By now, more and more people were coming out to pick up cards. To avoid attracting unwanted attention, I immediately drove away from the pedestrian street and headed to the hotel I had booked that morning. These cards will only reveal their power after the apocalypse begins. Now, all I have to do is wait for sunrise. I lay on the bed, let out a deep breath, and fell asleep. The next morning, at 8 o'clock, the once blue sky suddenly turned black. Tens of thousands of blood orbs began to fall from the sky. Countless bloody, humanoid creatures burst out of the orbs, charging at the nearest person they could find. I silently drew the curtains, my expression completely calm. For someone like me, who has been through the apocalypse, survivor who lived through 5 years of it, this is only the beginning. This isn't even the main course. Then, I pulled out 2 rainbow cards. I flipped one of them over. Amidst a rainbow-colored halo, I saw the words written on the card: Talent, Super Regenerative Body. It turns its owner into a being with super regeneration, whose wounds can heal in an extremely short amount of time. Rip. I tore the rainbow card. Instantly, a warmth spread through my entire body. Seeing this, a small smile formed on my lips. Not bad. Next, I flipped over the second legendary card. Item: Safe House. Covers an area of 200 square meters. A detached house with its own yard, protected by an absolute defense barrier. Can withstand an attack on the level of an H-bomb. Although the safe house has incredibly strong defenses, it has one major drawback: it can't be moved. For now, I have no plans to settle down in one place. I tucked the house card away safely. Then, I took out 10 gold cards. On the whole, this batch of gold cards was very high quality. Whether it was superhuman stamina or heavy fist brawler, they were all considered top-tier talents among the gold cards. Just then, the door to my room was suddenly smashed open. A woman in tattered clothes stumbled in. Behind her were 3 blood fiends. The young woman screamed, reaching out her hand. Help! Help me! Seeing this, I walked over and finished them off with 3 punches. The woman was scared stiff. I stared blankly at the 3 fallen blood fiends, taking a long time to process what had happened. Thanks, I said, slightly taken aback as I looked at the woman in front of me. Lin Waner? What a coincidence. Think I'd run into her on the very first day of the apocalypse. Strictly speaking, Lin Waner had saved my life once. In my past life, it was only with this woman's help that I barely managed to survive. Later, the community we were in was overrun by a horde of blood fiends. I never saw her again after that. At that moment, Lin Waner stared, stunned. You know me? The famous star? Of course, I do. At this, Lin Waner didn't seem so nervous anymore. Can you tell me what's going on? What are these things? After giving a brief explanation, I changed the subject, pointing to the pile of hiking backpacks. There are tens of thousands of cards here. It would take me forever to sort them all by myself. It's too time-consuming. And as it happens, I could use an extra pair of hands. Do you want to team up with me? Your job will be very simple. You just have to help me sort the cards, and I'll be responsible for your safety, food, and shelter. The world outside is dangerous now, and there are monsters. And this man in front of me obviously knows something. It would clearly be much safer to stick with him. She nodded decisively in agreement. Immediately after, Lin Waner opened a hiking backpack and poured out the cards from inside. Following my instructions, she began to sort them. After a short while, Lin Waner held up a bottle of mineral water and muttered to herself, "Strange. Why doesn't this water quench my thirst at all? Water, including food, is all useless now." I pointed to the white cards sorted into piles on the bed. "You have to get what you need from the cards. Just find a water card and tear it open." The next second, Lin Waner took out a water card and tore it. Sure enough, a small bottle of water appeared in her hand. "How magical!" Lin Waner exclaimed in amazement. She then gulped it all down, wiped her mouth, and went back to sorting the cards. As it approached 12 noon, on the previously quiet street, a team of humans suddenly appeared. Following them were over a dozen young men and women, each of them carrying a weapon. The nearby blood fiends noticed the human activity and immediately roared as they swarmed forward. However, this squad's fighting ability was no joke. Dozens of blood fiends were hacked to pieces before they could even get close. Just as the blood fiends fell, Lin Waner, who was watching the show from the window, couldn't help but shout, "They're amazing. We're in here. Help us." I frowned. By then, it was too late to do anything, because every gaze from the squad had already snapped in our direction. The squad came into the hotel lobby. A man named Zhou Wen looked extremely excited as he spoke. "Lin Waner, I'm a huge fan. I can't believe you were on a business trip here in Xing City." At that, Lin Waner politely asked a question. "Hello, where are you all headed?" "To kill blood fiends and get cards, of course. Those blood fiends have cards inside their bodies. If we get lucky and find a blue skill card, our chances of survival will increase greatly." "Miss Lin, why don't you join us? We're very strong." "That won't be necessary. We can protect ourselves. Let's go. We're heading back," I said, turning to leave. Zhou Wen raised an eyebrow. "Hold on a minute, my friend. I was just wondering, did you happen to get your hands on any cards last night?" "As for cards, I have a few." I pulled about a dozen silver cards from my clothes. Everyone's eyes nearly popped out of their sockets. They never expected me to be such a fat sheep. "So many." Zhou Wen swallowed hard, a new look in his eyes. They were filled with greed. "There's no use for one person like you to have so many cards. You might as well give them to us. We'll keep them safe for you." I just nodded. "Want to take a guess? Why I'd carry these silver cards on me instead of using them myself?" "What do you mean by that?" Zhou Wen was stunned. I cracked my knuckles. "It means that you're all about to die. Ha ha ha, there are so many of us." Before Zhou Wen could even finish his sentence, his vision went black. Then, he completely lost consciousness and collapsed. By now, everyone was stunned. The young man in front of them had taken out Zhou Wen with just one punch. And Zhou Wen had a silver talent. He didn't even have a chance to fight back. Then, I pulled out a gold card and tore it. A menacing black blade, radiating a sinister aura, appeared in my hand. "Now it's your turn. A perfect time to test how sharp this blade is." "Wait, we didn't do anything to you. We don't want to fight you. We'll leave this place right now." Too late. I ignored them. Wielding the black blade, I dove into the crowd. The air immediately filled with screams. From the moment I started to when every last member of the squad was dead, it took less than 2 minutes. Seeing the ground covered in bodies, Lin Waner couldn't hold it in any longer. She fell to her knees and began to vomit violently. She never would have dreamed that this man, who looked so calm and gentle, could be so vicious and merciless. "When you're done throwing up, don't forget to search the bodies. Bring the cards up to me." After saying that, I sheathed my blade and headed upstairs without a second glance. A dozen or so minutes later, Lin Waner reappeared before me, holding dozens of cards. With a sob in her voice, Lin Waner apologized. "I'm sorry. I'll never speak out of turn again." I just smiled and pointed to the various cards in the hiking bag. "Get back to work. If I really blamed you, I would have cut you down with the rest of them. After all, the apocalypse has only just begun. Not many people can adapt this quickly." Over the next few hours, we came across several other groups of survivors. And having learned her lesson, Lin Waner was smart enough to keep her mouth shut. At dusk, the wind carried the roars of distant bloodbanes. It's getting dark, time to stretch our legs, I muttered, tossing 5 silver cards to Lin Waner. What's this? Lin Waner asked, confused. Use these 5 cards before we go out hunting. Lin Waner flipped the silver cards over one by one. She found that, without exception, all 5 were support skill cards. Lin Waner might be stubborn, but she's no fool. So that's why you were sorting through silver cards for so long. You're planning on turning me into a support character. I laughed. See, you don't get it. Support roles are the best. Not only do they provide huge buffs to their allies, they also have a certain ability to protect themselves. And if you ever get captured by another team, they'll be reluctant to kill you. But if you really don't want to be a support character, I can find you a set of combat-oriented talents instead. Let you go brawl with the Bloodbanes up close. Lin Waner shook her head frantically. Forget brawling. Just the rotting smell from the Bloodbanes is enough to make a slight germaphobe like her physically sick. Lin Waner, having learned the skill, looked at the neatly arranged cards on the bed and asked, "But if we go out, what happens to all these cards?" I waved a gold card in my hand. We just have to move all the cards into the vehicle. With that said, I moved over 10 hiking bags to the hotel entrance. I tore the RV gold card and tossed it forward. With a whoosh, a medium-sized RV suddenly appeared. The lights inside the RV were as bright as day. Lin Waner methodically continued to sort the cards. Where are we going? If you ask me, we have so many cards now, it's enough to last a year or two. There's no need to take any more risks, right? Finding a place to lay low is the best way to go. I wagged my finger. Lay low until the end? Once our resources run out, death is certain. To survive long-term in this apocalypse, you have to actively scavenge for supplies. And arm yourself as much as possible. Do you know why I choose to operate at night? Lin Waner shook her head. The Bloodfiends at night are more ferocious. The cards they drop are higher quality. Plus, a new type of monster appears at night. A new monster? What is it? Lin Waner suddenly felt her scalp tingle, a trace of fear growing in her heart. A night fiend, fast, strong, with high defense. Besides being blind, its other stats are basically maxed out. After hearing my description of the night fiend, Lin Waner was completely stunned. If the night fiend is that terrifying, why are we looking for trouble with it? High risk means high reward. At the very least, a night fiend drops a silver card. If you're lucky, it can drop a gold card or even a legendary rainbow card. But didn't you say it's really tough? That even a fully armed squad of over 10 people couldn't take it down? The night fiend is very strong. But I'm not weak either. We're almost there. Just stay in the car and activate your aura later. At that moment, lights flickered within the residential complex. In the large open space, dozens of bloodfiends were frantically gnawing on a giant robot. Among the horde of fiends lay a colossal beast, estimated to be 2 to 3 meters tall. It weighed over 500 pounds. Lin Waner covered her mouth, her eyes widening like saucers. She couldn't imagine how a human could possibly defeat such a monster. Then she watched as I turned off the headlights and took out the key. Holding the black blade, gold slasher, in one hand, I stepped out. I have many ways to deal with a night fiend. The easiest is a long-range headshot with a Timberwolf sniper rifle. But I really want to test the extent of my own combat power. Most importantly, the rewards for a melee kill are much better than for a ranged one. This was a conclusion reached through rigorous testing in my past life. Right after, when we were still 20 meters apart, the bloodfiends smelled the scent of an uninvited guest. They dropped their delicious meal and charged over, roaring. I calmly swung my blade in a horizontal slash. With another slash, 5 more were cut down. Over 20 bloodfiends didn't even manage to touch the hem of my clothes before they were all slain. The night fiend flicked its tongue and slowly turned its body to face me. Compared to the bloodfiends, it possessed a certain level of intelligence. Its instincts told it that the human before it was very strong and needed to be handled with care. I flicked the blood from my black blade and took the first step. The night fiend moved too, leaping 7 or 8 meters high and crashing down towards me. Its 2-foot-long sharp claws swiped wildly. I slid under the night fiend's body. The black blade, gold slasher, thrust violently upwards. There was no suspense. The night fiend's body was pierced through and it fell to the ground. But it wasn't dead. It struggled frantically on the ground, trying to get up and fight again. I immediately rushed forward to deliver the finishing blow, taking it out directly. Soon, the spoils from this small-scale battle were revealed. 9 white cards, 4 green cards, 2 blue cards, 3 silver cards. It's a bit pathetic. I'm not satisfied at all. But it's only 7 o'clock. The night is still young. With that, I drove on. Suddenly, I slammed on the brakes. Lin Waner realized something must be wrong. She rushed over. Through the car window, she saw a sight she would never forget for the rest of her life. 200 meters ahead, there was a 5 to 6 meter tall, bloody, giant heart, constantly beating. Surrounding the heart were hundreds of blood beasts aimlessly wandering around. Lin Waner covered her mouth, her eyes filled with fear and shock. What is that? The key to getting rich, I said. Lin Waner froze for a moment, a worried look on her face. Huh? What are you going to do about that thing? What's the rush? At that moment, I sat back in the driver's seat. I observed the giant blood heart from a distance. My original plan was to drive east all the way, to find a friend in the neighboring Haicheng city. But plans can never keep up with changes. Discovering a giant blood heart on the verge of metamorphosis at this intersection, I was naturally unwilling to leave. You have to understand, the card drop rate of a metamorphosed blood heart is more than 10 times higher than an ordinary blood heart night fiend. However, the only problem now is, I don't know how long I'll have to wait for the blood heart to transform. Time slowly ticked by. In the blink of an eye, a few hours passed. The originally sluggish blood beasts suddenly seemed to have discovered something. They roared and charged towards the right side of the intersection. The next second, a series of dense gunshots rang out. The horde of beasts was torn apart like rags. I took out my binoculars to get a closer look. At the end of the blind spot, a team of humans appeared. They were all wearing blue combat suits and carrying firearms. At this point, Lin Waner whispered, "Someone going to steal the heart?" I put down the binoculars and shook my head. It's not that easy. With the current level of human enhancement, it's very difficult to harm a high-level blood heart, especially one that's about to transform into a black heart. A rash attack will only lead to a very ugly death for them. Right now, at the intersection, the leader was a man named Wang Feng. He had no idea his death was imminent. He casually slung his rifle over his shoulder, walked up to the blood heart, and said in awe, "Well, I'll be. This is the biggest blood heart I've ever seen. Taking this thing down will definitely give us a lot of good cards." A female team member, Li Yan, reminded him, "Brother Wang, we don't have many medicine cards left. Are we really going to waste them on this blood heart? We need to be frugal with the bullets. We'll use these." After speaking, Wang Feng took out a dozen or so green cards from his jacket pocket. When the group saw what the cards were, their eyes lit up. At this moment, Lin Waner blinked her big, beautiful eyes and asked, "Can they really burn the blood heart with Molotov cocktails?" A large number of Molotovs can deal with an ordinary blood heart. But against one that's about to transform, forget Molotovs. Even the power of dynamite would be greatly diminished. All of these people are going to die here. Just then, Wang Feng and his group had already placed the Molotov cocktails around the giant blood heart. There were at least 100 of them. Then, they retreated a certain distance. They shot and detonated one of the Molotov cocktails. With a boom, the Molotov exploded, forming a massive fireball. That instantly engulfed the giant blood heart. Just then, a team member pointed at the giant blood heart, having noticed something was wrong. "Old Wang, look, the Molotovs don't seem to have any effect on it. They only burned off a layer of its outer shell." Wang Feng looked closely. The giant blood heart in the flames, indeed, only had its outer layer burned to a scorched black. Other than that, it hadn't sustained any major damage. This thing has such thick skin. The next moment, team member Ji Yan's expression changed drastically. Looking at the round device in her hand, she screamed, "This is bad. There are so many blood zombies. We're surrounded." Thousands of blood zombies poured out from the crossroads, stumbling as they closed in on the 7 of them. These blood zombies, hearing the blood hearts scream, were like an army rushing back to rescue their sovereign. They charged madly at the 7 of them. Fire! Wang Feng and the other 6 stood back to back and opened fire, a rain of bullets mowing down waves of blood zombies. Accompanied by a piercing scream, a male team member was pulled down by a blood zombie while reloading. Dragged into the horde, he was instantly torn to shreds. The faces of the remaining 6 changed drastically. "Follow me, we're breaking through." Wang Feng chose a direction. He decisively tore open a silver card and, wielding a silver-rank Bushido sword, slashed fiercely into the horde. Immediately, 7 or 8 blood zombies were cut to pieces. With Wang Feng leading the charge, the 6-person squad actually managed to carve a bloody path right through the horde. And me, having witnessed the whole thing, I was at a loss for words. It's a four-way intersection. You could have broken through in any direction. So why did you have to charge towards me? I think they've spotted us. Lin Waner was deeply concerned. I calmly gave her an instruction. Hide all the cards, let's get ready to entertain our guests. During their breakout, Wang Feng's group naturally spotted the sturdy little RV, and their eyes lit up with excitement. Quick, open the door. Help us. I told Lin Waner to open the door. When the six of them, panting for breath, had scrambled inside, I floored it. The small RV plowed through like a bulldozer, sending a dozen nearby blood zombies flying. It cleared a path as it drove away in the opposite direction. Ha ha ha, Wang Feng roared with laughter, celebrating his narrow escape from death. Then, he looked over the vehicle's interior and, glancing at a flustered Lin Waner, suddenly said something odd. You're Lin Waner? Lin Waner froze for a moment. Never thought I'd meet a celebrity in the flesh. Friend, you got pretty lucky, getting an RV card. That's a gold card at minimum, right? Very nice, thanks for saving us, but you know what they say, in for a penny, in for a pound. Why don't you just give this RV to us? It's wasted on you. At that, Lin Waner said angrily, how can you repay our kindness like this? Wang Feng sneered, it's the end of the world. All this talk of kindness is so childish. But, since you did save us, I won't kill you. Now get out. I grinned. Everything was going just as I'd planned. Wow, you're a real nice guy, aren't you? Wang Feng was taken aback. What did you just say? The word was barely out of his mouth when a military dagger slit his throat. Wang Feng's eyes bulged as his body slumped lifelessly. In the next instant, I snatched the gun from Wang Feng's hand. I expertly flipped off the safety and started shooting. In less than 10 seconds, the car was silent. Then, I quickly drove back to where we started. Before me was a dense horde of thousands of blood zombies. I sighed, looks like I'll have to splurge again. After all, with this many blood zombies, trying to clear them with brute force alone would be impossible without a team of dozens. First, I used the drone to douse the blood zombies in gasoline. Then, I used the drone again to airdrop Molotov cocktails into the horde. And then, the instant the Molotovs shattered, the area below became a sea of fire. Over 1,000 blood fiends were incinerated just like that. Then, I moved all the bodies from the RV and tossed them one by one next to the blood heart. After about 5 minutes, tentacles started bursting out of the ground. They pierced into the 6 bodies and the single head. Those were the roots of the blood heart. It mutates or spawns by absorbing human flesh. After it finished absorbing the 6 bodies, the massive blood heart suddenly trembled. An indescribably strange aura began to radiate from inside it. It's starting to transform. I was practically jumping for joy inside, but I kept my expression calm and collected. Just then, Lin Waner asked curiously, after it transforms, won't it be even stronger? I shook my head. A transformed blood heart is monstrously strong, of course. No single person would be able to take one on alone, but during its transformation, in order to complete the process, it draws all of its energy to its core. In other words, right now is when it's at its most vulnerable. Its defenses aren't much stronger than a regular blood heart's. It's also the perfect time to strike. Right after saying that, I grabbed my blade and walked straight toward the blood heart. The black blade sliced through its outer shell with ease. But the next second, the sight inside made my skin crawl. The inside of the blood heart was laid bare. From top to bottom, hundreds of chrysalis-like sacs were arranged irregularly. Then, I stepped inside the blood heart and quickly found, deep within, the heart, suspended in midair, slowly changing color. The moment it turned completely black, I swung my blade and cut down the black heart core. Then, without a second glance, I ran back to the RV. Inside the RV, Lin Waner's face was full of curiosity. So that's the black heart core? I nodded, placing the black heart core on the table and taking a deep breath. This is the black heart core, the most precious resource in the early days of the apocalypse. With a single slash of my blade, the black heart core instantly vanished into a puff of ash. And where it had been, a stack of over a dozen cards appeared. I rubbed my hands together. I picked up the cards and looked through them. Besides 2 rainbow cards, there were also 6 gold cards. Out of the 6 gold cards, aside from a food card and a biologist card that were useless for now, the other 4 were all top-tier, S-rank talents. Then, I flipped over one of the rainbow cards. My pupils constricted as I read the description. Talent, Chi Control. Grants the user the ability to manipulate spiritual energy. Requirement. Open the 8 meridians. A true god-tier talent for a rainbow card, but the requirement is too steep. I can't learn it yet. I put the chi control card away and flipped over the second rainbow card. When I saw what it was, I couldn't hold back a loud laugh. Armor. Electronic protective bracelet. As long as it's charged, you're practically invincible. I've seen people use this electronic protective bracelet in my past life. It's the kind of thing you have to charge using silver battery cards. Once fully charged, it can block 3 fatal attacks. The specifics depend on how much damage the opponent deals. Of course, that's assuming the attack doesn't exceed the bracelet's protective threshold. Otherwise, it'll fail. It's basically a super shield that triggers automatically. The first thing I did was take the bracelet out of the card and put it on my wrist. Then I took 3 silver battery cards from my tactical vest. As the 3 green energy bars on the bracelet filled up, I was instantly filled with a huge sense of security. I thought for a moment, then handed my pistol to Lin Waner. I pointed to the spot between my eyes. Shoot me. Lin Waner looked at me strangely. Don't worry, I just want to test its defenses. I wouldn't risk my life for a joke. Go ahead and shoot. Since I insisted, Lin Waner could only grit her teeth and pull the trigger. Bang. The moment the bullet neared my forehead, it was swallowed by a protective barrier. Vanishing without a trace, I looked at the energy bar on my wristband, and sure enough, it had gone down by 1 notch. Just then, I saw that Lin Waner's face was filled not just with shock, but mostly with pain. A moment later, when I realized why, I couldn't help but laugh. It turned out the pistol's recoil was so strong it had sprained her wrist. You're so fragile. I then had Lin Waner sit down in the dining area, and helped her reset her wrist. Looks like this kind of gun isn't for you. You should stick to the crossbow. Lin Waner gently rubbed her wrist. A mechanical bow. I actually practiced with one for a while when I was filming. Do you have one? Of course I do. I have quite a few. I took out the silver cards. There were 6 mechanical bow cards in total. Their functions and power are all exactly the same. The only difference is their paint job. To no one's surprise, Lin Waner chose the mechanical bow with the pink skin. The pinker the skin, the deadlier the person. Makes sense. Then, I pointed to a utility pole in the distance. Try shooting that pole. Let's see what you've got. Alright, Lin Waner stood up straight and skillfully drew the bow. With the asterisk whoosh, the arrow flew out like a streak of light, landing with perfect precision in a trash can 3 meters away from the utility pole. Impressive, I said, giving her a thumbs up. Lin Waner's face flushed beet red. I'm a little rusty. Let me try again. Hold on, not yet. Use these cards first, then try again. I handed Lin Waner the silver cards I'd sorted earlier. They were Talent, Archery Mastery, Talent, Precision and Talent, Long-Range Shooting, and the skill, Sharpshooter. Lin Waner looked at me in disbelief. Are all of these for me? The monsters we'll be facing are only going to get tougher. I'm going to need a partner. Lin Waner's cheeks immediately flushed. She was a very self-aware person. She knew exactly what she had accomplished in the past 2 days. Her only job had been sorting cards. But the thought of being able to fight alongside him filled Lin Waner with joy. Thank you for trusting me. Immediately after, with the buff from the silver talent cards, Lin Waner's accuracy and arrow power increased severalfold. Her hit rate on stationary targets reached 95%, and on moving targets, it was 77%. It's a shame all the nearby blood corpses have been cleared out. Otherwise, I'd really love to see her in a real fight. To celebrate the day's huge gains, I used a silver food card, the Sichuan hot pot set. A full table of top-quality beef and lamb appeared, along with all kinds of vegetables. All in all, there were more than 30 different dishes. Whoa, this is such a huge feast. Am I going to get fat from eating all this? I couldn't help but shake my head. Are you for real? Everyone else is worried about starving, and you're worried about gaining weight. Knock, knock, knock. Just as the two of us were digging in, there was a sudden loud banging on the RV door. I checked the dashcam feed. I thought it might be blood corpses, but instead, there was a middle-aged couple standing at the door. The woman was holding a boy of about 3 or 4 in her arms. With a sob in her voice, she cried out, "Please, I'm begging you, help us. We haven't had any water for 2 days. Please give us some water and food." I hesitated for a moment, then opened the car door. "Bring a few water and food cards over here." Lin Waner quickly took them out from the cabinet. She handed the water and food cards to the middle-aged couple. Overcome with gratitude, the couple knelt before me. "Thank you," I nodded. "It's not safe at night. Go back." After saying that, I prepared to close the car door. Just then, the middle-aged man spoke. "Please, wait a moment." I cut him off, leaving no room for argument. "If you're thinking of getting in the car, I can tell you right now, that's impossible." The middle-aged man gave an awkward laugh. "We're already so happy that you gave us water and food. We wouldn't dare think of it. My son is 3 years old this year. It's so dangerous outside right now. Could you?" I refused him flat out. "Don't even think about it. Leave now, while I'm still in a good mood." Without another word, I shut the car door. Seeing this, Lin Waner didn't say anything. She just kept staring at me. I asked curiously, "Is there something on my face?" Lin Waner shook her head. "No, I just didn't expect you to give them the cards. You thought I would trick them into the car and kill them?" "Didn't say that. Don't you put words in my mouth." Lin Waner pouted. "Only those who dare to fight and risk it all can survive in this apocalypse. That family of 3 is unlikely to make it to the second phase, so I don't even consider them people. I just see them as stray cats and dogs on the side of the road. It just so happens I have some food on hand. It's no big deal to share a little." Afterwards, full and hydrated, I picked up the binoculars. I looked through the binoculars at the monster in the sky. The second card rain should be falling soon. I decided not to make any moves tonight and to rest up. At 7:30 the next morning, just as I predicted, a rain of cards began to fall. Although it was much smaller in scale than the first days, it brought the survivors hope. Many residents emerged from nearby, cheering as they picked up the cards. Shortly after, the card rain stopped, having lasted less than 1 hour. My earlier trip to scavenge for cards was a bit of a failure. Aside from picking up a few resource-type gold cards, the rest were all blue and green cards. So, I decided to try my luck in the residential complex. I wanted to see if I could trade for some higher quality cards. However, for these residents, food and drink were the most important things. Next, I slung a backpack filled with food and water over my shoulder. "Stay in the car. Don't open the door for anyone, no matter who it is. I won't go too far. Call me if anything happens." Lin Waner nodded firmly. "You be careful." I then got out of the car, tore open a gold card, and tossed it forward. Red Ghost Fire motorcycle instantly appeared on the empty ground. This was my only other gold card vehicle besides the RV. The description for this motorcycle is interesting. When the Ghost Fire is in trouble, likes come from all directions. With everything ready, I hopped on the Ghost Fire and sped off. When I arrived at the community garden, it was completely empty. Not a soul in sight, but I knew the residents were all hiding in their homes. Right now, dozens of pairs of eyes were watching me. "I don't mean you any harm. I'm just here to trade with you. I have a lot of food and water cards, and I want to trade them for any green or blue cards that aren't food. If you have silver or gold cards, I'm willing to offer a better ratio. To show you my sincerity, I'll open my bag and take out the white cards inside. This is a limited time offer, so don't miss out. I'm only here for a little while." After I'd been shouting for a bit, someone cautiously emerged from the hallway. Before long, I had traded over 1,000 white resource cards for more than 300 of the less useful blue and green ones. Seeing that the trading was pretty much done, I got ready to leave. Just then, a familiar voice came from behind me. "Rainbow card, how do you want to trade for it?" The next moment, I completely froze. When I turned around, I saw it was Wang Gui, the man who was begging me for food just last night. I collected myself and lowered my voice. "You have a rainbow card? What's the name of the card?" Wang Gui whispered. "Spatial ring, 10 cubic meters." I gasped. "A spatial ring? That's definitely strategic level equipment. How about we talk in my RV?" I thought Wang Gui would refuse, but to my surprise, the man just grunted. With just a sound, he got onto my scooter. The next moment, Wang Gui spoke ominously, like a ghost. "I've hidden the card. It's no use killing me." I was taken aback for a second, then just laughed it off. Inside the RV, I had Lin Waner pour Wang Gui a cup of coffee and also got him a plate of beef curry. Wang Gui didn't refuse, he just lowered his head and devoured it. I wasn't in any hurry, waiting until he had finished the meal before I spoke. "So, can we talk about the trade now? What do you want for it?" Wang Gui rubbed his eyes. "I don't want cards. I just need you to kill 3 people for me." I froze, realizing something was very wrong. "What's going on?" I looked over and saw Wang Gui's eyes were completely vacant. My wife is dead, my son is dead, too. Just then, Lin Waner looked shocked. Dead? But they were fine last night. How could this happen? The ones who killed my wife and son were Hu Daejin, Wang Zhicheng, and Zhou Yun. They took turns assaulting my wife, and strangled my son to death. The next second, Wang Gui suddenly flew into a rage, slamming his fists on the dining table like a madman and roaring. I want them dead, as long as they're dead. The rainbow card is yours. Kill them, help me kill them, I know you have it in you. I stared at this grief-stricken man for a long moment before speaking calmly. I'll add one more condition for you. You can choose how they die, and if the situation allows, I'll let you get your revenge with your own hands. With that, I glanced at the time on my watch, grabbed my black blade, Zan Jin, and stood up. Come with me. 5 minutes later, I led Wang Gui back to the residential complex. I was just about to ask him to point out where those three lived. And Wang Gui suddenly grabbed my arm, trembling. Them, that's them. I looked over. 3 young men were walking towards us. Hu Daejin had a mocking look on his face. Hey, Gui, you're back? You're the ones who killed my wife and son. Don't even try to deny it, model. Someone saw us. Wang Gui roared, his eyes shot with blood. Hu Daejin chuckled. Who said I wasn't admitting to it? That's right, I killed them. What are you going to do about it? Wang Zhicheng added with a grin. Gotta say, your wife was pretty good. But especially stupid. You have no idea. When we were playing our game, how cooperative she was. Man, she was really into it. I'll kill you. Wang Gui screamed like a madman, trying to lunge forward. I grabbed him, my face expressionless. Sleeping with her was one thing. But you had to go and kill them, not even sparing the child. You brought him here for revenge, didn't you? Hu Daejin stared straight at me, his eyes full of defiance. Then the men behind him saw what was happening and deliberately flashed the handguns at their waists. 3 men, 3 guns. What's there to be afraid of? I let out a cold sneer. The 3 of you are nothing but ants. The next moment, Hu Daejin decisively pulled out his gun. Go to hell. However, before he could pull the trigger, I was already prepared and shot his arm, shattering it. My hand. Hu Daejin screamed as he collapsed. Seeing this, Wang Zhicheng and Zhou Yun quickly opened fire on me, but the bullets vanished without a trace as they hit my body. They couldn't even scratch me. I didn't give the 2 of them any more time to think or attack, firing back. Bang, bang. After 2 shots, the arms that Wang Zhicheng and Zhou Yun were holding their guns with were both shattered. Why? I know I hit him. Why is he fine? It hurts so much. Right after, I patted Wang Gui on the shoulder and handed him a green knife card. You can avenge your wife and child with your own hands now. I've fulfilled your request. Now, where's my stuff? Behind the drainpipe on the 1st floor. With that, Wang Gui gripped the knife and walked step by step towards the 3 men, who were scrambling backward. Brother Gui, we were wrong. Please, spare us. We'll do anything for you, we'll be your slaves. Whatever you want, we'll give it to you. We have lots of cards. You can have them all. Just don't kill me, please. I glanced at the scene, then looked away. My part in this was done. The decision of life and death was in Wang Gui's hands. Now, I just wanted to get my hands on that spatial ring. Sure enough, it was behind the drainpipe at the end of the 1st floor hallway, covered by dust and some industrial trash. I tore the card open and slipped the ring onto my finger. Just as I thought, a square-shaped space appeared inside. 10 cubic meters might not seem like much, but it can actually hold a lot of stuff. The moment I found out about the existence of spatial rings, I already knew how I was going to use it. Storing bodies. Afterwards, as I walked out of the apartment building, I glanced over. Wang Gui was covered in blood, kneeling in a puddle of it, both crying and laughing. Any words of comfort would have been meaningless right then. I said nothing, just walked right past him. A few hours later, it started raining again. No, wait, it's raining blood. Lin Waner's shout startled me awake. I had been lying. Resting in the driver's seat, I looked out through the car window. Countless blood hearts of all sizes fell like rain, even more than during the first downpour. Time to test your archery. Then, I pulled Lin Waner onto the roof of the RV. What's wrong? Are you scared? I'm not scared. If you're not scared, then why are you trembling? Lin Waner pouted, I'm just too excited. Before, I could only watch you kill monsters. Now I can finally fight by your side. Just watch me. As she spoke, Lin Waner drew her bow and nocked an arrow. Swoosh. The arrow shot out. It pierced right through a blood fiend's head. Her movements were fluid and seamless. Not bad, keep it up. I gave her a thumbs up and jumped in right after. That evening, inside the RV at the crossroads. Come on down and get some rest. There shouldn't be any more blood fiends around here. I called for Lin Waner to come down from the roof. In just 2 hours, I realized Lin Waner had an incredible talent for combat and learned incredibly fast. He went from being timid at first to landing consecutive headshots on the blood fiends. The speed of her improvement was breathtaking. We got 61 blood fiends. Lin Waner jumped into the RV, her face beaming, eager for praise. I said with a grin, impressive. Go change, take a shower, and then we'll eat. Afterwards, Lin Waner rinsed off and changed into a clean white shirt. As she was drying her hair, she asked, "So, are we leaving here tonight?" I nodded. We'll fight our way through once it gets dark. The blood rain just ended. The city must be crawling with blood hearts and blood fiends everywhere. It's the perfect time to stock up on resources. Just then, Wang Gui's voice came from outside the door. Qin Lang, are you in there? I froze for a second. I never expected that guy to have survived. He was holding a boy who was barely breathing. I opened the door and let Wang Gui inside. This boy. Before the apocalypse, his mom was out of town on a business trip, and we couldn't get in touch with her. His dad was killed by a monster not long ago. Wang Gui continued, his face full of anguish. He was bitten by a blood fiend. Is there anything you can do to save him? I frowned slightly. Wang Gui's spirit seemed much better than it was a few hours ago. He had clearly found a new reason to live in this little boy. But this silver card serum is extremely valuable, and I only have about a dozen myself. I have cards, I can trade with you. Wang Gui frantically pulled a bunch of blue and green cards from his pocket. If this isn't enough, I'll get you more. Just give me some time. Please, save him first. I thought about it for a moment, took Wang Gui's cards, and pulled out a silver card serum. After injecting the boy with the serum, I asked curiously, how did you all manage to hold off the blood fiends? How many people are left in your community? At that, Wang Gui sighed. He suggested we all defend ourselves from inside the building. Otherwise, it was only a matter of time before we were all dead. Luckily, they listened to me. But it's a shame, we were just too weak. We lost over half our people just to barely clear them out. I think there are only about 30 to 40 of us left. They're all young people, brave enough to fight hard. My words stunned Wang Gui for a second, but then his expression turned to excitement as he realized what I was getting at. Yes, the ones who fought by my side are all young people. They're all very brave, a few have even enhanced their talents. Are you thinking? I chuckled. Don't get so excited, I was just asking. Wang Gui was instantly a little disappointed. It's not safe at night. I'll take you back. Then, I started the RV and drove Wang Gui and the little boy back to their complex. I'm going inside with Brother Wang for a bit. You watch the RV. After letting them know, I followed Wang Gui out of the vehicle and headed inside. The young man in the security booth saw Wang Gui and me and got excited. Big bro, are you here to help us? I recognized the young man who spoke. He was from the young couple who first traded cards with me this afternoon. His girlfriend was trembling by his side. They were both covered in filth and blood, and they smelled awful. Can't blame them, with resource cards being so scarce. Anyone with a water card would save it for drinking. Not many people would be extravagant enough to use one for a bath. I'm just here to take a look. I glanced around and sighed. Wang Gui wasn't lying. More than half the people were dead. I asked casually, I'll have to leave in a little while. What are your plans now? Wang Gui asked anxiously. Mr. Qin, where are you going? Can you please take us with you? If we stay here, we'll be killed by monsters sooner or later. Following you is our only hope for survival. Big bro, please take us with you. I'm begging you, we don't want to die. The young couple fell to their knees, crying. Once they started, others began to follow suit. All of you, get up and talk. When everyone was back on their feet, I held up my hand. You want to follow me to find a path to survival? It's not out of the question, but we must agree on 3 rules. I like to lay down the hard truths up front. Shortly after, the night was deep. At the end of a road littered with debris, an RV was advancing at a slow pace. Following behind the RV was a procession of people. In total, there were over 30 people. They followed the RV through the darkness in silence. Tonight, the convoy's luck was both good and bad. The good part was that the largest group of blood fiends they encountered only had about 20 of them. The bad part was that the largest group of blood fiends they encountered only had about 20 of them. Eventually, the RV stopped in front of a large shopping mall. Wang Gui, take a few men and go check out the mall. If you run into any trouble, fall back immediately. Wang Gui quickly called over 5 young men, and they cautiously headed into the mall. Rule number 1 of the 3, obey my orders unconditionally. A few minutes later, Wang Gui came jogging out, his face full of joy, to report that the first floor of the mall was safe. It looks like someone used this as a shelter before. We'll rest here for the night. Go collect the cards from everyone. Rule number 2 of the 3. All cards must be turned in. I will be the one to distribute them. Anyone caught holding out will be expelled from the group. I've already collected them. They're all here. Wang Gui placed a large stack of cards in my hand. Although 99% of them were white and green cards, with very few blue cards. My eyes still lit up. I didn't expect we'd have such a bountiful haul from the fighting along the way. Take these supplies and distribute them among the group. And these clothes and weapons as well. Have them find time to take a shower and change their clothes. I handed Wang Gui a set of cards I'd prepared earlier. They were full of supplies, covering everything from food and drink to daily necessities. I even thoughtfully prepared shower gel, shampoo, and so on. After Wang Gui took these cards into the mall for the others to use. Everyone was moved to tears, especially the few women in the group. When they found tampons and new clothes in the supplies, they were so overcome with emotion they nearly knelt down. Later, after they had dinner, took a shower, changed into new clothes, and lay down on the soft bedding. The exhaustion from the night ride vanished in that moment. It was all worth it. They finally didn't have to live in fear at night. They were safe. Right now, I was lying in bed resting with my eyes closed. I had already made an agreement with them. Under normal circumstances, I would protect them. But if we encountered a danger that even I couldn't resist, I would abandon them without a second thought. If they couldn't even accept that, I wouldn't have brought them along. The next day at 10 a.m., after 5 hours of rest, everyone's physical condition and their spirits had recovered as much as possible. The group seemed completely transformed overnight. Just then, Wang Gui came jogging over to ask, "Boss, we're ready. When are we setting off?" After he spoke, I stepped out of the RV and stretched my back, pulling out 7 silver mechanical bow cards. I handed these 7 cards to the women in the group. Train hard, hiss. Wang Gui took a sharp breath, his eyes blazing. So many silver cards. Boss, you're really sparing no expense this time. You have to spend money to make money. Then, I took out another silver blue card and handed it to Wang Gui. These are riot shields and police-grade blades. Give them to the men in the group who are physically strong enough. Tell them that if they want to live, they have to fight with everything they've got. If anyone dares to take my things and slack off, don't blame me for being harsh. Wang Gui nodded vigorously. Don't worry, boss. If anyone dares to slack off, I'll be the first to take care of them. After finishing with business, I changed the subject. How is little Baoer doing? A look of warmth immediately spread across Wang Gui's face. Thankfully, we had your special medicine, boss. Little Baoer is much better. He slept through the whole night. When he woke up this morning, he was crying that he was hungry. Kids are growing, you know. Here are 10 green cards for you. These cans of milk powder and bread are a personal gift from me. I can't even bear to use them myself. Wang Gui was overwhelmed with gratitude, his eyes burning. Boss, words can't express my gratitude. Go on now. As I watched Wang Gui leave, I sighed. Even with a large operation, I can't afford to be this wasteful. Now I only have a little over 100 silver cards left. I need to start using them sparingly. I had nothing to do for the rest of the day, so I just pulled the covers over my head and slept soundly. In the evening, as the sky began to darken, I called Wang Gui and the others to set off. With the experience of the previous night, this group of residents were no longer so afraid of the dark. When we encountered blood husks along the way, often, Lin Waner didn't even have to make a move. They would work together seamlessly to surround and kill them. The convoy traveled north for over 3 hours. Just as we were about to get on the highway, Lin Waner frowned, looking at a dark shadow that flashed across the sky. Am I seeing things? I felt like something was flying up there. Lin Waner rubbed her eyes, pulled back into the car, and asked uncertainly. Can blood husks fly? Screech. I slammed on the brakes, and Lin Waner nearly fell over. What did you see? I'm not sure what it was. But if it was a bat, it wouldn't have been that big. As Lin Waner described the creature she saw, A chill ran down my spine. Winged demons. It's only been a few days and they've already shown up. The winged demons themselves aren't scary. What's scary is that wherever there are winged demons, there's bound to be a black blood heart nearby. Winged demons are the sentinels for the black blood hearts. We have a situation. Go back the way we came. I immediately grabbed the walkie-talkie to notify Wang Gui. Wang Gui didn't dare to be careless, quickly waving for everyone to turn the vehicles around. A piercing shriek came from the distance. That was clearly the sound of a blood heart. A welcoming song of hell. We've been spotted. I took out my rifle card, got onto the roof of the vehicle, and stood firm. With my night vision talent, I was completely unaffected by this dim environment. I looked up and immediately saw 7 or 8 winged demons swooping through the sky. This monster's greatest advantage is its extremely fast flight speed. Its own defense and attack capabilities are average. You're asking for it. I immediately activated Deadeye and continuously pulled the trigger, firing single shots. Bang, bang, bang. A series of single shots rang out. All 7 winged demons, without exception, were shot in the head and fell into the nearby wheat fields. Boss, what happened? Wang Gui looked tense. Everyone, get ready. It's time for war. I tossed the rifle card, along with some bullet and Molotov cocktail cards, to Wang Gui. Protect your people. Got it, boss. Wang Gui patted little Baoer's head. The little boy said fearfully, Uncle, I'm scared. Wang Gui had a gentle expression on his face. Don't be afraid. Uncle is here. Uncle will definitely protect you. Before the storm comes a dead silence. They're here. My pupils constricted. A large horde of blood fiends appeared at the end of the road. They were densely packed, no telling how many. They let out strange cries as they surged forward, one wave after another. Mixed in with the blood fiends were several night demons, who seemed to be their leaders. The night demons followed unhurriedly behind the horde of blood fiends. How are we supposed to fight this? Wang Gui saw the scene ahead through his military-grade binoculars and couldn't help but curse. But when he saw me on the roof of the vehicle, looking completely fearless, his nerves calmed a little. Wang Gui licked his lips hard. Come on, I'll mow you all down. Just then, a scream rang out. A man in his 40s or 50s from the group was ambushed by a winged demon, which tore off the top of his skull. They were so focused on what was ahead that they neglected the sky. More than a dozen winged demons were circling above, watching them menacingly. Fire! Wang Gui shouted, raising his gun and shooting.